Broadcast Network, and WPBN-TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, and the X-Zone comes to Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern now until midnight on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our family of worldwide affiliates. Worldwide, toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And if you'd like to listen to the X-Zone 7/24/365, all you have to do is go to our main website at www.xzoneradiotv.com. As you know, X-Zone Nation, next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Brantford, Ontario. It is going to be the hub of activity. Why? Because of the Alien Cosmic Expo. That's going to be at the Best Western in Bradford. I went to the venue last week with my technical director, Steve Benedict, and we spoke with Joanne Eady and Heather Masters, two fantastic ladies. And you know what? I'm so excited because we are part of bringing this fascinating, fantastic, if you'll excuse the expression, kick-ass Alien Expo to Brantford, Ontario, which is just up the road from here in Hamilton, Ontario. Now, for all the information that you'll ever need on the Alien Expo, all you have to do is go to their website at www.aliencosmicexpo.com. Now, listening around the world as, what is it, Craig, 60% of our listeners do? 60% of our listeners are outside of Canada and the United States. Like, we're really big in Japan, really big in China, the United Kingdom, Africa, the Middle East, throughout Central Europe. This is, the X-Zone Nation is really, really growing. And we received a lot of emails saying, well, geez, we wish we could be there, but we can't. But you know what? Heather and Joanne solved that problem because it's going to be available from the Grand Ballroom, the keynote speakers, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on pay-per-view. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. You know me, I don't joke unless it's with a guest. But check out www.aliencosmicexpo.com. Also check out www.digitalbroadcastnetwork.ca. You'll see that I'm not kidding. Be part of this. This is just the beginning. I'm telling you, this is the Alien Cosmic Expo 1. Be part of this launching of this fascinating, new, exciting, and revolutionary way to do Alien Cosmic Expos. That's it. That's my pitch. And I'm sticking to my story. My first guest tonight is going to be there, as a matter of fact. Her name is Fern Wolf. She's assisted people in regaining and enhancing all areas of their health using the technology of Electro-dermal Screening, a meridian biofeedback state-of-the-art technology. In her desire to help her clients move through their emotional blocks and ease and grace, Fern led to Psych-K, I guess, B.E.S.T, matrix energetics, thought field therapy, and reconnective healing, and shadow energetics. Wow, that's quite a lot. Instead of me trying to understand it right now. Why don't we bring Fern on and have Fern discuss this with us? Fern, welcome to the X Zone.
Well, thank you, Rob. I am so excited to be here, and I'm really looking forward to the expo next weekend, the Alien Cosmic Expo. So thank you for telling your listeners about that.
Oh, it's my great pleasure. You know what? I've been doing this show for 23 years, and I am so fortunate that I get to talk to so many different people like yourself who are trying their very best to help others. And to me, this is what this lifetime is all about, people helping people. So it is I who welcome you, and please tell me more about what you do.
Well, those were some of the things that you mentioned. That is Psych-K that you were trying to pronounce there. But, one of the most exciting things, and what I hope to be able to share this evening, is source energy medicine. Source energy medicine, as having been in the practice, the holistic field for the last 16 years, source energy medicine, I just came across it about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. I had, a number of years ago, probably 6 years ago now, or 7, I had spent some time with Masuro Emoto in the United States. I spent about, actually, 5 days with him there and another 5 days in Florida, and I met a woman there. Mm-hmm. The synchronicities in life. I met a woman there who I became friends with and continue to email, and 3 years ago, she sent me the website for Source. And because I had already been working for water and had been working with it for, probably since about 2003, using a different technology than source energy medicine, I was very excited to see this type of technology that was available through Stephen Pollitt. So when I went onto his website, I was thrilled. I went down to, he was doing a course in Virginia. I took the course, and, it was just the beginning of this amazing marriage with myself and source energy medicine. And so that's what I'm hoping that I can share mostly this evening with your listeners. And I was really thrilled to hear that, 60% of your listeners are from around the world, because what source energy medicine is a self-healing, holistic methodology. It's totally safe, and it's available worldwide. And so there's no limitation to anyone in the world from accessing this technology, which is very cool.
How did you become interested in alternative healing?
I fell into it. I wasn't looking to get into the field of holistic medicine. I had a friend from Ohio. We were business associates, and she was using this biofeedback technology that I certainly now use and have used for the last 16 years.
Right.
And so we would go away to conventions together, and she would be testing colleagues with it, and I was intrigued, but really didn't have any kind of background in this field whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But she encouraged me to come out to a course that she was teaching in Toronto, and I went out to the course and came away from that knowing that my life had just taken a major shift, a major change. I entered into the field. I practiced on friends and relatives, and took course after course, as you could see from that lineup of things that you read off, right? Became a little bit of a course junkie, and still am. Always looking for whatever can, assist me in helping those who come to me on their healing journey. So, but the most powerful thing that I've come across in 16 years of working in this field is source energy medicine, hands down.
Can you give us the physiology behind source energy medicine? How does it work?
Okay. How does it work? Okay. Well, it's basically it's based on the quantum physics theory of entanglement and non-locality. So experiments that have been done with both people and particles that have so let's just use the particle example. So particles that have a common bond, when they're separated, and this has been done in science labs, when they stimulate the one particle, the other particle that has been totally isolated receives the same or expresses the same effect of that stimulation as the one that was stimulated. And they've done the same things with people that were intentionally entangled with one another, separated them, put them in Faraday rooms, hook them up to EEG machines, and stimulate the brain of the one individual, and the other person that's entangled with them expresses the same stimulation. So we know, and the same thing is with prayer, telepathy, things of that sort. So it's at the aspect of two things being entangled but not local. So what Stephen Pollitt did, and I'm just so grateful for this man, because he didn't settle for what was, and he just was so amazing at asking incredible why questions, always looking for the better so-called mousetrap, right, in the healing field. And because of coming up against a lot of frustrations on his own journey and looking for that better way, this methodology came to him, and so I'm so really, really grateful for that. So what Stephen has done is he, based on, not based on it, but certainly supported by the work that Dr. Emoto did in showing that water has the capacity to be influenced positively and negatively by, different thoughts, different pictures, different words applied to the water. Emoto's work really helped source energy medicine to be accepted. Because it really raised the consciousness around the ability of water to be a receiver and a generator of information. And so what Stephen did is he was really, really intrigued by Dr. David Hawkins' work. Dr. Hawkins wrote one of his books, Power versus Force, refers to the map of consciousness that Hawkins established through applied kinesiology, where on this logarithmic scale of 0 to 1,000, using applied kinesiology, Hawkins determined that anything on that 0 to 1,000 scale that calibrated below 200 was not only harmful to life but destructive to life, and anything that calibrated above 200 was helpful. And Emoto's work sort of demonstrated that when they exposed water to words like, I hate you, I'll kill you, that water couldn't form a crystal. When they exposed water to the words, I love you, it formed this beautiful crystal. So if we were to relate that to Hawkins' work, then anything calibrating below 200 couldn't form a crystal. Anything that would calibrate above 200 could form a crystal. Not that Emoto referred to Hawkins' work in any way, but certainly Stephen Pollitt, the founder of Source Energy Medicine, inspired by this map of consciousness of this amazing scale that Hawkins used the scientific model of replication, using literally millions of calibrations, thousands of results, other teams of researchers duplicating his work and coming up with this 0 to 1,000 scale. So Stephen thought, okay, well, what if we could transform vibration, because everything has a vibration, everything is energy, and so what if we could take those things that are harmful and transform them to a higher vibration? So what he did was he created and there's hundreds, over 190 different remedies that Source Energy Medicine offers, and it's offered in the form of a paper label that you can download easily from his website. And Rob, the reason this is so powerful is that, from a worldwide perspective, is he allows everybody to download this incredible methodology for free.
Wow.
Now, yeah, wow. I love that. Wow, for sure.
Exactly.
So regardless of what your financial background is, he doesn't even ask for an email address. So you can go onto the website. You can even download his book for free.
What website is that?
That's the sourceenergymedicine.com website.
Oh, super. Well, we'll have to really promote that, off air as well.
Yes, thank you. And the miracles that I have seen with this work in the 3 years I've been doing it have been nothing short of just awe-inspiring and profound. I literally see miracles every day working with my clients. And so Stephen, what he did was he And some of these labels, over 190 labels, some of them, and they deal from the emotional aspect, the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect, the physical aspect of our being. So literally every aspect of our being. And each label, Stephen has very carefully and intuitively, and with lots of research, created a narrative. And that narrative is the vibrational story for what that remedy is going to do. So to get back to your question, how are these remedies made, is that now that he has that story, he then, again, intuitively assigns an 8-digit number, which is the vibrational equivalent to that narrative. So now when you download that label, and each label has its own specific 8-digit number, when you download that label then carries all of the vibrational information that narrative was created for. And so now, even though they're non-local, they are totally entangled. And we know from Emoto's work that water is influenced by what it's exposed to.
Exonation, my guest this hour is Fern Wolf. Here's two websites, www.goodvibrationshealth.com and www.sourceenergymedicine.com. And you're listening to the X-Zone live and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. And Fern, why haven't we heard more about this fascinating technology?
That is an amazing question, but thanks to you, I mean, look at how many listeners are hearing about it tonight.
Wow.
And so I so appreciate the work you do to get this type of information out to a broader audience. And
I thank you for that.
And so we, right now it's grassroots. It's one person telling another person, but we really need to get on the world stage with this. And one of the ways that I'm hoping to do that, I recently took a course with some new technology that I purchased at Christmas called a BioWell. And a Russian physicist by the name of Konstantin Korotkov, absolutely amazing man, very heart-centered scientist. He was good friends with Dr. Emoto as well, and he's a leading scientist in the field of water as well. And he created this amazing technology called a BioWell. So the BioWell measures the human energy field, and I guess if you were going to compare it to anything, you would compare it to Kirlian photography. But Kirlian would be the bicycle, whereas the BioWell, which is also referred to as gas discharge visualization or biophotonic imaging, something like that. Anyway, he basically says if Kirlian was the bicycle, this particular technology is the Mercedes-Benz. And so one of the reasons, actually the main reason that I purchased this technology, not that I needed more technology in my office, I already have some pretty amazing stuff, but I knew that it was going to show an amazing before and after picture because it shows all the chakras, the human energy field, it's fast, the technician, myself, has no influence over the information that's happening between the client and the technology, and it shows a very clear before and after using source energy medicine, and within a very short period of time. Quite often, sometimes I even do, if I'm doing a short test, I'll measure the energy field, and it's all done with the tips of the fingers into this little camera, this specific technology. And if I'm doing a mini test, I only use 2 fingers, and so it's what's called a stress test. So then I will give them one of the remedies from Source Energy Medicine that is specifically designed for stress. And so I'll put the label on the water, I'll have them drink that water, and then even 5 minutes later do another test, and you can already see the difference in the readings from the first one to the second one in their stress levels. So, I mean, that was one of the reasons that I wanted this BioWell technology, and it was just another, validation. Not that I needed it, because I see it sort of in real life every day with my clients. from what they say, how they're feeling when they come into my office to how they're feeling when they leave my office. That's how fast it works. When you're working with vibration, Rob, it's like turning on a light switch. It doesn't take 5 minutes, 5 hours for the room to fill up with light. It's immediate. And so when you're working with vibrational remedies, the body responds to the remedy immediately.
Can this technology be used on children?
Oh, totally. Totally safe. The good news about this is the very worst thing that can happen with it is nothing. So if there's no vibrational resonance, there's remedies for animals that Stephen has created. And so I could drink all of the animal remedies with no adverse effect.
Not even a bark or a growl or a purr?
No. I've only been known to bark a few times with these. So, in fact, I've had an amazing experience. And I primarily work with people,
right.
But my neighbor's little dog ran up to my door. This was back in April, and her owner was right behind her. And I don't think it was any accident that the little dog made her way to my door, because her owner said that she was due to have an operation for kidney stones. That, I think it was the next day or that week, I can't remember exactly. And I said, well, are you willing to try something? And she was. Her husband was somewhat reluctant, but they did agree. And so I recommended, and it wasn't even one of the animal remedies. I recommended, there's a specific label that Stephen has designed for stones. And so, okay, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
The dog has stones. So not only was this going to be a very traumatic operation for the dog, it was going to be around $2,400.
Whoa.
So I sent her out the door with a labeled bottle of water for stones. So all I had to do was get a bottle of water, put a label on it. That's done. That's how fast it is. And then I gave her one because I figured the dog was under stress. So I gave her a bottle with the label for stress on it. Away she went. The vet said, okay, well, if you're not going to, and so they postponed the operation. She said, come back in 3 weeks for an ultrasound and an x-ray, and we'll see where we need to go. 3 weeks later, I got a call from my neighbor. She said, well, we had the ultrasound and the x-ray. There's no stones.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is really fantastic.
I haven't had anything quite that dramatic with people, but I've had people who have had sort of the low back pain. There was every indication that they had some sort of stone activity going on, and drinking that water, the discomfort disappeared. So whether there was a correlation, I can't absolutely say for sure, but there's lots of, lots of correlation there.
Certainly.
Anyway.
Exonation, my guest this hour is Fern Wolf, and we have posted the two websites on our Facebook page at X-Zone Radio TV. And you're listening to the X-Zone live and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, and you can listen to the X-Zone Radio Show live nightly from 8 p.m. until midnight at www.xzoneradiotv.com. And we're being brought to you around the world on the X-Zone Radio Network, www.xzbn.net. I'd like to ask you a question, Fern. If someone is on prescribed pharmaceutical prescriptions, will this technology interfere with the work that a Western practitioner, a Western doctor, is using these prescriptions on the person for?
Okay, so there's no actual
reaction?
It's not there's no reaction. There's never any reaction with source energy medicine.
Excellent.
Simply because of the way that it's designed. So what's unique, I'm sort of going to answer your question a little bit backwards here to get to it, but the reason there's no reaction with source energy medicine because of what's unique to source energy medicine in that it is transforming vibration. It's not combating anything. So you never have a healing reaction. Because when you transform a vibration from those lower, it helps to understand Hawkins' work on this, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that anything that calibrates below 200 is harmful and destructive. Anything that calibrates above 200 is helpful. So what we're doing, the intention behind every one of these remedies at some level is to take a slower, denser below 200 vibration and transform it above 200. So we know above 200 it's helpful. So in that helpful realm, you could have no reaction. And so there's no true, so getting back to the question, there's no contraindication with a pharmaceutical drug. However, as people get well, do they need as much of that same drug? What would you think?
I think they don't.
Think so.
Yeah.
Probably not, right?
Right.
So what could happen is if somebody's health is improving, which I would highly expect that it would, and that's my experience, then what they can happen is the drug can be an overdose. So they really want to be, I would suggest anybody that's on a drug taking source energy medicine is they get, regular checkups at their doctor as they're going on to make sure they're not getting too much of that particular medication now that their body is improving and doesn't need as much of it, or likely doesn't need as much of it. I would have no way of telling that. They'd have to go to their doctor for that.
What have been some of the comments you've heard from patients who have tried this technology for the first time?
Okay, well, from the simplest observation is that the water tastes smooth and silky. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons it tastes smooth and silky is there's a little symbol on every remedy. And that little symbol is a sacred ohm symbol that calibrates at 1,000 on Hawkins scale. And that symbol stabilizes the water that's being charged, plus it's structuring the water. So that structured water has a very smooth, silky taste. So even people who don't like drinking water, mm-hmm. this just slides down. So that's just sort of a from a taste perspective. But I mean, again, I'm always using the stress remedy with my clients, and so with that one, the feedback is always they feel much more calm immediately. There's a remedy for that is absolutely brilliant that Stephen has created, and it's a remedy to transform the slow, dense vibration of swelling and inflammation to a higher than 200 vibration. And typically, when I use that on anybody and their pain, if their pain is from a physical perspective caused, because we know that the correlation of all disease, disorder, disbalance is not the pathogen, it's the emotion behind the pathogen, at least from my perspective. But so when you transform that vibration of swelling and inflammation to above 200, then the pain goes away. I had someone, I received an email recently from a woman who had 2 glasses of the Source Energy Medicine water. The one glass was for a pathogen, mm-hmm. and the other glass was for swelling and inflammation. So 2 glasses of water. This is a person who's been in pain for a very long period of time, normally would need to, at the end of the day, lay down on the couch with her feet up because the back pain was so severe. Normally would wake up in the morning because of the pain. In the email, this person said that they went all evening, had no pain, woke up in the morning naturally, which means they didn't wake up with the pain. Normally they would have difficulty walking to the bathroom because of the pain, walk to the bathroom normally. That was after 2 glasses of water.
2 glasses of water.
2 glasses of water. And I see that, so it went a lot. Lots of times when I'm doing presentations, and I just did a presentation the other night mm-hmm. For a group in Kitchener. There's about 30 people came out to that, and one of the women at the end of the night, because I take water with me when I do these presentations, and I always try to take a bottle of that swelling and inflammation label. And one woman came back up to me at the end of the night and said, you know what, I had pain when I came in here tonight, and I don't have any pain. And that's all she drank was that one bottle. And I see this all the time. This is my expectation. In fact, if somebody doesn't have that result, then I'm surprised.
So let me just understand this. All you do is take a bottle of water, put a label on it?
Yes. with the information facing in. So the water needs to read that 8-digit number that is the vibrational match for the narrative that Stephen's created for it.
It sounds like magic.
It does, but, I think it was Dean Radin said, people, first of all, we reject the information, and then this information that nobody can believe, then somebody receives a Nobel Prize for it down the road. So this is something that I could see happening with source energy medicine, and it's designed to raise collective consciousness. One of the things that in Hawkins' work is that he determined is that 87% of the population calibrate below 200. Only 13% of the world population calibrate above 200. And the beauty of this is that the remedies are designed, there's one remedy in particular. So even though there's 190 plus different remedies, you can take, because what Stephen has done is he's taken labels and he's combined multiple remedies within one label. So you could literally take almost all of the 190 labels in less than 190 remedies in less than 15 remedies. Actually, even less than 10. You could take almost all of them. There's a small group of them that aren't included in what we call a fusion label. So there's 8 categories of remedies, and within, or 6 categories of remedies, 6 categories of remedies, and 5 of those categories are broken into 2 descriptions, fusion and non-fusion. So a fusion remedy is multiple remedies in one, and a non-fusion remedy is just you're putting a spotlight on something.
Fern, please stand by. You and I have to take a small commercial break. Exonation, my guest this hour is Fern Wolf, and I'm telling you, I'm just amazed by what she's telling me. We've put the links on our Twitter link. We've put the links on our Facebook link. Go ahead, check it out. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone, and for those of you who aren't using Twitter or Facebook, GoodVibrationsHealth.com and SourceEnergyMedicine.com. Fern and I will be back on the other side of this short commercial break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, live and around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network that you can listen to at XZoneRadioTV.com. Don't go away.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com. Do you think you have energy problems in your home? Do you feel better when you're away than when you're home? Joey Korn is a global leader in the world of dowsing who specializes in personal energy clearing and space clearing. He can help you create an ideal energy environment in your home no matter where you live in the world. Learn about his remote spiritual house cleaning services and much more at www.dowsers.com. You can get Joey's book, Dowsing, A Path to Enlightenment, as well as other dowsing books and tools, Kabbalah books, and Walter Russell books. Joey's work is really amazing. Go to dowsers.com right now. That's DOWSERS.com, or call 1-877-DOWSING. That's 1-877-369-7464. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com.
The Alien Cosmic Expo will be held in Brantford, Ontario, June 26, 27, 28, and will feature 24 internationally acclaimed experts and researchers of UFOs, crop circles, alien abductions, and much more in this 3-day 2015 summer Canadian event. Experts in the field of extraterrestrials and alien encounters, out-of-body experiences, past life regression, soul reading, psychic, and mediumship will all be presented with professionalism, integrity, and credibility, making the Alien Cosmic Expo the largest event of its kind in Canada for 2015. The exhibitor hall will feature a spectacular lineup of gifted mediums, psychics, astrologers, channelers, aura photography, healers, as well as books, DVDs, alternative health products, crystals, jewelry, and much more, completing the venue with something for everyone. For all information and to purchase your tickets for the Alien Cosmic Expo, go to www.aliencosmicexpo.com. That's www.aliencosmicexpo.com.
Hi, this is Eric Rawls of Cosmoverse.com, and you're listening to Rob McConnell in the X Zone.
Hi, this is Blade Runner, and you are listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, I'm Laura Sabrin of Feast to Fields Organic Vineyards in Jordan, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, my name is Lady Ashley, the White Witch of Niagara-on-the-Lake, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal talk radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. Fern Wolf is my special guest. 2 websites, goodvibrationshealth.com and sourceenergymedicine.com. And Fern, let me just see if I've really got this correct, because it seems too simple and way too good to be true. You just print out a label, you face the label into the plastic container or glass container of regular water, and drink it. That's it?
That's it. Now we recommend good quality water. So if you have access to whatever you would consider good quality water, then that would be it. And so you can go on to the website, and there is the free download. If you click on to the Make It icon, so there's a number of icons. Click onto the Make It icon. It'll direct you to the free download of the labels and the book. When you do the free download for the labels, it will also give you, a few pages of written instructions along with a sample remedy protocol. Because you would think, all right, well, there's 190 plus labels. Where do I begin?
Exactly.
So Stephen has made it so simple. He's laid it out so that in the first 30 days, he recommends, unless you have some serious health issues, then maybe go to somebody who can help you to either through dowsing or even just plain logic, really. If you look down the list, because you also get a list of all the 190 remedies, and quite often logically you can figure out what you need. And so, but if you're just looking to improve every aspect of your life by going into a vibration that's helpful versus harmful, then just follow the sample remedy protocol. You'll find the labels. There's there's over the 190 labels, and just find the ones that are on the sample remedy protocol. In the first 30 days, it's 3 labels. In those 3 labels, you're doing about 13 different remedies.
Unreal.
And just in those 3 labels. And those 3 labels are designed to address the major components of all disease, disorder, and lack. And so what Stephen refers to as the components of all disease, disorder, and lack is a vibration, so a calibration below 200. And we know that 87% of the population calibrate below 200 according to Hawkins' work. And then we also will have a high resistance to healing in aspects of our life, and we'll have a low allowance of healing in the aspects of our life. And so those are 3 of the categories of source energy medicine. And then after you've dealt with the resistance and the allowance piece and raising your vibration above 200 with the energy level progression labels, then you move on to the balancing labels and the restoration labels. And then he has a category called Extraordinary Series, which you can read about on the blog part of the website. But as I mentioned, Stephen even allows you to download his book for free. Now, of course, for Source Energy Medicine to continue, a donation is much appreciated, but definitely not required.
When it comes to Source Energy Medicine, how have you had success with stress, cancer, PTSD, ADHD, diabetes?
Yeah, and so what I would say to all of that is, again, getting back to every disease has an emotional component. And once you really get that, then you're sort of stepping up to the, I take responsibility plate. And one of the things that I believe is really beneficial is when you're doing Source Energy Medicine, there's the category called transformation. Is you're transforming those lower, slower vibrations to above 200, and the energy level progression, these ones specifically in Stephen's work are dealing with the lower vibrations of shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. And so at some level, there's going to be an emotion that's keeping your vibration above 200. And these are transforming those vibrations at the subconscious level. And once we've cleaned our subconscious house, then it's just a case of coming from dealing with the conscious aspect. But once we've cleaned the subconscious house, we're no longer coming from a place of reaction. We're coming from a place of choice. So our choice in how we respond in any given moment is much clearer, and we have much more access to choice. So from my perspective, doesn't matter whether that client is coming to me with a diagnosis of cancer, diabetes, allergies, whatever. I know, number one, they have a vibration below 200. So what do I need to do? I need to direct them to the label that's going to bring that vibration above 200. And there's one label, Energy Level Progression Fusion 1, that automatically brings that vibration above 200. Now, we have conscious habits that, of behavior. So at some level, we're going to have to change some of those conscious habits. But we're cleaning out the subconscious triggers to those habits. So transforming that conscious aspect is much easier than it would be if we've got this big subconscious element dragging along behind us. So regardless of what you're coming from, we want to get that vibration above 200. And so yes, I've had answering your question, I've had amazing success with most of the things that you've talked about there.
What is traditional medicine saying about this treatment method?
I don't think they're saying anything, personally, because they're not aware of it. It's so grassroots right now that it's not even on the radar.
But if it comes on the radar, is there a chance that they may shut it down?
Well, that's the beauty of this, Rob. When you make something available for free, it's in too many people's hands now, and because Stephen doesn't ask for even an email address, there's no way of tracking who has this information. So I couldn't even tell you how many thousands of people have the download of the labels on their own computer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And even in terms of the narrative, that's in a Word document that's in numerous locations. And so how can that be destroyed? That information is out there, and it will continue to be out there. And it's already set up when Stephen designed them with the protection on there that they could only that they could not be tampered with to do harm.
What about this system called BioWell technology? What is that?
Okay, well, with as I mentioned earlier, with Konstantin Korotkov, this amazing Russian physicist, he and again having a really, really big interest in water and measurement of water, and having been a friend of Emoto's as well, and he holds a conference every year in St. Petersburg. And when I met Konstantin in New Mexico in February to take training with him, he told me that once I've collected enough data on source energy medicine with the BioWell, I'm more than welcome to go to St. Petersburg, Russia, and present that data to this amazing audience of scientists and physicists and people that are really on the cutting edge of energy medicine and new technologies in the world. So I'm excited to be able to do that. It won't happen this year, this July, but I'm certainly shooting to have enough of that data available to put that on that stage next year. And I'm and again hoping that getting it out there to some very key people who have a very big voice in the world and are the influencers, that word will get out and will be embraced on a much larger scale. And I think there's lots of other ways that could happen. You know, if anyone, we all, what is it, seven degrees of separation. You know, everybody knows somebody who is, a person of influence, like yourself, and that we know somebody that can put this on center stage. So if somebody like Oprah, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Greg Braden, takes this, gets it, and puts it out there. And the beauty of it is it's totally compatible with whatever anybody else is doing, and because it's totally safe, you can absolutely do no harm. I mean, before source energy medicine, I used homeopathic remedies with amazing success. But you can have a healing reaction with a homeopathic remedy. You cannot have a healing reaction with source energy medicine.
Sounds like it's a plan. So what are your final thoughts? We're coming to the end of the interview in a few minutes, and I would like to give you the opportunity of getting your message out there to the members of the X-Zone Nation worldwide.
How would I get my message out to the X-Zone?
No, I'm giving you the opportunity right now to give them your personal message right now.
Okay. My personal message is that if we want to raise collective consciousness in the world, this is the best methodology that is available to do that, because it raises that consciousness above 200. And according to Hawkins' work, when one person maintains a vibrational calibration of above 300, that will influence and negate the negative effect of 90,000 people with a vibration below 300. if I just with one of your listeners, Rob, who will take this, embrace it, and run with it, and maintain that vibration of 300 or above, one person with a vibration of 500 or above counterbalances the negative effect of 750,000 people.
Holy cow.
Right? And so the power of this is absolutely phenomenal of what we can do. And if you look at it, if it was just the critical mass of the world's population, which I think is something like around 8,000 people, 8,000 people who seriously embrace source energy medicine and consciously, try to live life impeccably from their heart with love and with kindness and gratitude, right, to maintain that vibration consciously along with what's going on with source energy medicine to bring that subconscious vibration up above 200, there would be so much light in the world, there would be no darkness. There wouldn't be wars. It would totally counterbalance that darkness.
That's what this show is all about, trying to make this into a better world. And all I want to do each and every night, and this is the same thing I've been doing for 23 years now, is trying to touch one heart, make the difference in one life. And it's with guests like you, my dear friend, that we're able to do this. Now, you're going to be at the Alien Cosmic Expo in Brantford, June 26, 27, and 28. What will people be able to see and hear from you while you're there?
Well, I'm going to be having my bio well there, so I'll do some mini tests. So I'll do the short stress test with people while they're there. They'll be able to sample the water, feel the difference right on the spot. It is, when I've done shows like this in the past, it is not uncommon for people to come up to my table in pain, and I give them the swelling and inflammation water, and they walk away and they have no pain.
Fascinating. I'm looking forward to meeting you and learning more about this fascinating magical miracle that we've been talking about for the past hour. I want to thank you so much. Go on, dear.
I know we're almost at the end, but I do want to just mention, too, that there is some very valid scientific technology, the Raman spectrometer, that is used in material science labs to measure substances. And Stephen has sent samples to a lab with the Raman spectrometer and with, validating that the remedies do actually structure and cluster differently.
Fern, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Continued success, and we look forward to seeing you at the Alien Cosmic Expo. For more information, Exo Nation, go to www.goodvibrationshealth.com and sourceenergymedicine.com. Coming up next, Catherine Louise. She's an intuitive medium, angelic and psychic guidance, channeler, photo reader, spiritual and holistic coach, and much more. That's in the next hour here in the X-Zone. But what I'd like to do is go to break with a song that was sent to me for the X-Zone. It's entitled Monsters, Myths, and Mystery by Philip Ramblin' Jack Marlborough. Give it a listen.
Tracker. Tom was a man with dreams, and Ernie came along and I wrote the songs about a creature that few's ever seen. Monsters, myths, and mysteries, legend, tales, and facts. It brought us all together, and it's a reason for the fact. Up in North California, where the redwoods reach the skies, 3 men with a goal and a pact that they'd hold, and a promise till the day that they died. Answers to the questions no one's found before. Driving determination, the only key they had to unlock the door. Monsters, myths, and mysteries, legend, tales, and facts. What brought them together? Reason for the fact. travel, searching distant lands, trying to find a creature that walks upright like a man. Ivan was an old bear tracker. Tom was a man with dreams. Ernie came along and now wrote the songs about a creature that few's ever seen. Monsters, myths, and mysteries, legends, tales, and facts. It brought them all together. It's the reason for their pack.
Manifestation is driven by imagination, intent, and passion. In our culture, all three have been distorted and disabled by modern media and exploitation. Re-engage your imagination and your passion by entering into the world of paranormal romance. Kahir O'Donnell takes her readers on an exciting journey into the endless possibilities of loving, passionate, and mutually respectful male-female relationship. Her latest book, The Long Dark Night, features special ops adventure, a daring rescue, a psychic woman from the stars, and a special agent that will die to protect her. The Long Dark Night by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at KahiraO'Donnell.com or Amazon.com. If you are looking for a safe, zero-calorie, natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide. With each new extreme weather event or terrorist act, it becomes increasingly obvious that we live in uncertain and challenging times. We all buy car insurance. Why not collapse and catastrophe insurance? Matthew Stein, an MIT-trained engineer and green builder, has written 2 outstanding books to help people prepare, plan for, and deal with everything from minor situations lasting a few days to full-on collapse. Matt's first book, When Technology Fails, is a manual for self-reliance, sustainable living, and surviving the long emergency. This massive book covers the gamut from first aid and emergency preparedness to alternative healing, renewable energy, primitive living skills, and 18th century technologies that could be critical to your comfort and survival in a long-lasting crisis. Matt's second book, When Disaster Strikes, is a comprehensive emergency preparedness handbook and survival guide. When Disaster Strikes is an essential item for every family's go bag. Both books are available at all usual sources. There's a wealth of totally free information posted at whentechfails.com, and author-signed copies may be purchased at mattstein.com. That's www.whentechfails.com and www.mattstein.com.